M0RKK, M0RKK with the Ullen District Amateur Radio Club Monday evening net on the GB3HS repeater. Anybody else want to join? Got no audio? Hello, test 1 2. Just one sec. M0RKK. M0RKK with the Ullen District Amateur Radio Club Monday evening net GB3HS repeater. Anybody want to join M0RKK? 2E0JOV, welcome Ant. Yeah, it would help if I plugged an antenna in, wouldn't it? I unplugged it because of the storms and yeah. There's not many people that can hear me without an antenna. Thanks for joining, mate. Number 1 on the list. Anybody else? M0RKK listening?
G8REM calling in.
G8REM. Good evening to you, Andy. Hope you well, mate. Been a little while. So, yeah, number 2 on the list, Andy, over.
Roger, thank you. Yeah, not so busy today, over.
Oh, that's good then. That's good because yeah, I'm glad you. Hopefully you stopped at home. It threw it down this afternoon, didn't it? So yeah, hopefully you didn't get caught out in that, mate. Anybody else for the Ullen District Amateur Club Amateur Radio Club Monday evening there? M0RKK.
30RDL.
30RDL. Hi Dave. Hope you well, mate. And yeah, I'm a bit tongue tied at the minute, but. Yeah, number 3 on the list, Dave, over.
You gone, sir?
Anybody else? M0RKK. Okay, nothing heard. M0RKK, thanks for joining, guys. Anybody else listening? And yeah, I found out why. I've been on 40 metres a couple of the nights. Just in a group or whatever, and not been receiving very well. And I found out today that it wasn't noticeable, but the telescopic pole had dropped down a few feet. So I put that back up. Initially, I was going to put the bazooka back on. That's another story. But the dipole with the balun is on, and it's at full height. That I can do at the minute, so I'll give that a go later on. But it seemed to be getting out not too bad, but it wasn't receiving too well. But it was quite a bit below the roof line, which isn't going to help, I imagine. So yeah, that's that anyway for now. Round to you, Ant. 2E0JOV. Good evening to you, mate.
2E0J from M0RKK in the group. Yeah, I actually did it myself. Forgot to connect the antenna back after the thunderstorms, but I managed to do it just before I come on, so therefore I was a little bit ahead of you. So yeah, I have done a lot this weekend apart from a bit of FTA in. I did today change all my lights out on my van and put LEDs in, including the indicators and the new relay, so I'm quite pleased about that. That's one of my little jobs out the way. I've also started putting the bed in the van, so I'll get that finished the next couple of days. That should give me a bit more room, so I can store things underneath it and sleep on it as well. So yeah, it should be a lot better for the HS field day. So yeah, that's about it from me for now. So I'll pass it on to the next in line, which is G8REM Andy from 2E0JOV in the group. Roger, 2E0JOV in the group, G8REM. Well, good evening, Rich and Dave. And yeah, I was quite busy last week. But as far as the rain goes today, the landlord came round to sort out the gutter on the back of the house, and we'd had problems with that. When the extension was built, some brickwork was done
out the brackets and also raised some of them up, so we got a slope in it. And I was just getting the hose pipe out to test the slope of the gutter when the heavens came down. Anyway, yeah, we did get wet. It was quite refreshing, but now the gutter works as it's supposed to. All the water flows all the way down to the downpipe. So, and also I've done some work on the mast. I'm ready to re-repair that. So over to you, Dave. 2E0 IDL from G8REM and the group.
G8REM and the group from Tom 2E0 IDL. Good evening, one and all. Yeah, Andy, we had a similar problem a few months ago with the when it rained hard, the downpipe into the gutter by the back door, it just missed the gutter completely, and if you went out the back, you just got drenched. So that took a bit of fixing, but it's all good now. But I do appreciate the problem. Radio-wise, not done a great deal. In fact, did absolutely nothing yesterday at all. Very little on Saturday, so not a lot to report from there, I'm afraid. Just wait for a few bits and pieces to turn up at the post, and I can build a mains-powered 12-volt supply to turn my capacitor motors around, save having to run out of batteries all the time. So that'll be quite useful. We'll see how we get on. Anyway, that's it from me for the minute, so I'll pass it back to Rich at M0RKK from 2E0IDL.
2E0RDL, M0RKK. Cheers, Dave. Anybody like to join Ulland District Amateur Radio Club Monday evening at M0RKK? G0WJK. Hello there, Tony. Hope you and yours are well, mate. It's been a little while. Right, I've just typed it in on the computer, mate. I struggle when I haven't got a foot switch with one finger typing on one hand. Hope you well, Tony.
Yeah, keeping going. You know what it's like. Anyway, I'll join the list and tell you what I've been up to after Dave's had his next over.
Yeah, no problem, Tony. Well, Dave's just finished and passed it to me, so it's over to you, Tony. G0WJK, M0RKK.
Okay, M0RKK, the group from G0WJK. Thought I'd just pop in for a few minutes, say hello, prove I'm still up and going. Activity-wise, not last weekend, the weekend before. Took part in the IARU's HF World Championship. Managed 150 QSOs in the 24 hours, which by my standards was pretty good effort. Sent the logins, so it's going to be a while before we get the results out. There's over 5,500 entries gone in. Last week was fairly quiet. The conditions are dreadful. Absolutely fed up with it. The solar flares, it just seems to be one after the other, and I believe there was a coronal mass ejection as well last week, so that didn't help. So things aren't going all that well. Been trying to work some one or two special event stations, and that's proving hard work. I was after the guy who's up at the North Pole at the moment, the Russian expedition up there. I could hear him this afternoon, but he was so weak there was just no point in calling him, so hopefully he'll give it another go sometime and be able to clock that one up. So that's about it as it stands at the second. So it's back to you, Rich. M0RKK from G0WJK and the group.
Yeah, many thanks for that, Tony. Number 4 on the list anyway, mate. And yeah, well done on the 150 Q size under quite difficult conditions, isn't it? I normally work at night because it's just rubbish in the daytime. And I actually got I got America on 20 metres about midnight our time. Quite a strong, well, 59 it was actually. Wasn't many strong signals on, but yeah, that one was a good one. So must have had a pretty good setup, but daytime usually it's yeah, pretty flat, isn't it? For saying that thing that I posted up on Facebook saying that we're probably going to get one of the better sunspot cycles for, you know, many years, it's it's not coming about, is it, at the minute, with all storms and goodness knows what. And you've probably noticed the static crashing as well on bands, because there's been storms all over Europe, haven't there? So, catching a bit, Tony. M0RKK with the Ullen District Amateur Radio Club Monday evening net. Anybody else want to join, please call now. Thin herd, it's going to be a pretty quiet one, I think, tonight. So, I was going to mention about currently I've got a dipole up with the Ballon. I was in a small group on 40 metres with a whole M0 Hull guy. I can't remember his call sign, but his name's Ian. Don't live too far away. And I did mention the double bazooka and I built it. So he's built one. Fortunately, he's got the room in his back garden to compare. So he's actually got the dipole up, which is it's slightly higher than the double bazooka. And when he switched the bazooka over, it was 3 S points better on receive. So I might consider putting the bazooka back up and see what happens. So I was quite surprised with that, because I've read a couple of reports that they're a little bit deaf. Although they are quieter than a dipole, your noise floor is a bit quieter. So yeah, definitely going to have a go at that. Been playing about with the headset for the field day today, and that's all sorted out. There's no hum or buzzing or anything. It's perfectly silent on the monitor when you key up. So that's all done and sorted, and I'll just double check with the laptop, hook it up tomorrow, and just see if everything still works with it. Nothing's been altered on that. I'm sure it'll be fine. Right, round to you, Ant. Well done with the van fit out and your little motorhome. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that, mate. I'm amazed you can do anything with the stuff that you've actually took home. So you must have cleared it out a bit to be able to do some fitting. 2E0 JOV M0RKK.
In the group. It's not exactly cleared out at the moment, and that's another job I did as well, was rearrange the kitchen, because it was a bit like yours, so I managed to get a tidy about a fifth of it away, and it looks a little bit better. At least I can get him to cook my tea. So it's just down. If I can get it rearranged, I can shove some of it permanently in the van, can't I, underneath the bed bit. So anyway, it's nice to hear Tony on again. Congratulations with your 150 that weekend. Considering the state of the airways, that was quite good. So here's hoping you get a good score with it. I'll do a quick run through of the signals. Rich is 5.9 plus, Andy's 5.6, Dave's 5.9 plus plus, and Tony is his usual 0.0. So obviously he hasn't dug a hole through that hill yet, so that's still there. So that's about it from me for this score. So pass it on to GAREM Andy from 2E0 JOV.
Yeah, Roger, 2E0 JOV, G8REM. Okay. Nice one, Tony, there. 150, under the conditions. I'd be lucky if I heard anything like 15 at the time. Right, okay, so it was really windy Saturday, and I didn't like what the antenna was doing at the top of the mast. So I dropped the bolt, dropped the second section down, and then I tilted it over and I started taking it apart. And I drifted these pins out, and I managed to pull section 2 out. So I've ordered myself a new hand winch and some steel wire, and I should be able to get that back fully operational so that I can wind it up and down instead of having to pull it out, bolt it, and then pull it up to vertical. So that's one job that needs to be done. The guttering's done. program on Windows called Doozy. That allows me to connect on D-Star. The 705 goes into terminal mode and uses a USB. And so I managed to talk to a few of my old friends on a D-Star reflector in the United States, and also the USS Medway. Nothing to write home about because it's D-Star and it's cheating. It's not real radio, HI. Right, signal reports. Rich, you're 5'9 plus 10, and you're 5'9. Dave, you're 5'9 plus 10, and Tony, of course, you're. I can't hear anything at all, so I'll give you a 5 and 0. 5 and 0. Over to you, Dave. 2E0 IDL from G8REM and the group.
G8REM and the group 2E0 IDL. Signal reports wise, everybody, including Tony, are coming in to me 5 and 9 plus 10. Strong signals from everybody tonight. No problem whatsoever. As I say, I haven't done a great deal radio wise, so can't comment on that. But a few things lined up for the next few days, but just trying to get myself psyched up to do some soldering now. I've got a little soldering iron, so that's really great news. So that's about it for the minute. I'll pass it back to Rich. No, pass it on to Tony. I beg your pardon, Tony. By the way, 150, that's damn good considering the conditions at the moment. Very good. G0WJK from 2E0 IDL.
2E0 IDL and the group from G0WJK. Yeah, that contest, I think I've probably achieved the Wake to All Italy award, because it seemed like every other station was Italian. But interestingly, I worked 3 stations in the States on the Sunday morning between 7 and 8 o'clock, which is a bit unusual. So that was that one. And then the other day, I can't remember which day it was, I worked to Belize, and I'm trying to remember if that was on 20 or 15. Can't quite see it in the log at the moment, but yeah, first time I've ever got anywhere near Belize. And the other thing, Slavko, if you hear him at the moment, he's got a special call sign. It's now done, I don't know if it's 30 or 50 years on the air, and I think he's signing S575DX. Yeah, that'll be it, S575DX. So, maybe worth giving him a shout and just saying hello. You know what him and Janesh are like. Janesh was on the air the other day, and I got the impression he might have been moving house or doing something to his antenna, but it sounded like he might have been moving house. Don't know what that was all in here, though. We only caught part of the conversation. So that was interesting. This coming weekend, it's the Yurta contest, the second round of that for the year. So I'll probably give that a bash. But the weekend after is Islands on the Air, so that's one way you can clock a few people up. So that might be worth getting involved in. So back to you, Rich, M0RKK from G0WJK and the group.
G0WJK, M0RKK, cheers Tony, and yeah, I've jotted that down actually, Slav's special call. I spoke to Yanis the other day actually, yeah, beaming through, but it was in DX mode, Tony, so he wasn't really hanging about making a conversation, so whether he's moving or not I wouldn't know, but why would you move from a place like that? I often listen to him actually, and because he's a bit of a DX guru, isn't he? Most of the stations, to be perfectly honest, I couldn't even hear. I could hear some, but you know, he was getting 5.9 off VK and stuff like that. It's quite an incredible setup. What him and his brother's got, isn't it? So yeah, I'm not sure if Kevin can actually hear us. Probably not. He's just joined us. On the Zoom. So, anybody else like to call in M0RKK with the London District Amateur Radio Club?
Mike 7 Sierra Papa Echo.
Mexico 7 Sierra Papa Echo. Thank you very much for joining, mate. Mike 7 Sierra Papa Echo. Yeah, name's Rich this way anyway. If you can just give me your name, please. I do apologise if we've spoke before.
Roger Rich, thank you. Well, I'm amazed I'm getting you tonight, yeah. Name's Andy, Alpha November Delta Yankee. And I'm in the city of I'm in a little town called Horbury, which is on the west field. So, amazing I'm getting the repeater tonight. It's about a signal 3 to me over here, but I can hear everybody there, buddy. Over.
Yeah, cheers for calling in, Andy. And yeah, I mean, I obviously can't hear anything on the input, but yeah, you're coming through absolutely excellent. So yeah, it's good you can hit it, mate. Maybe I don't know, with the rain and whatever, it's actually done something. So I can put it straight over to you, Andy. Being as you're at the end of the list, so if you want to tell us what you've been doing, just pass it back to me when you've done, mate. M7SPE M0RKK.
Roger, Richard, thank you for that. Yeah, M7SPA with the group, yeah. Not so much, to be honest. I've had a lovely chest infection hit me in the last couple of days, so it's knocked me on my pants, but not so much, to be honest. Just pootling around, semi-retired. What can I say? Repaired a couple of antennas with the wind yesterday. Had a Yagi blow down and bend an element. So that's had to be repaired, but now just really taking it easy and enjoying my semi-retirement there, buddy. Back to you, over.
Yeah, many thanks for the info, Andy. Very much appreciated, mate. And yeah, it's great you could get on the on the repeater. Excellent audio, I have to say, mate. So. Right, okay, I think I've told everybody just about everything. Yeah, the kitchen, the kitchen looks like a bomb's hit it, but I'm taking John's, John sends his apologies, obviously not going to be on tonight, he's away, so that's another photo we need to tear down. What he said was, the other one's only going to be 7 or 8 weeks, so you might as well just leave it in there, so I'm just going to leave it in there, but I will tidy it up. It does look a bit of a mess. It was kind of thrown down, and all I wanted to do was get a shower and get to bed. So yeah, I will tidy it up and downsize. I think we just went a little bit over the top, slightly, for the VHF field day. And I might go a bivvy, actually. I might go a single bivvy. I've been toying with that idea, but I'll see how it goes. I might need another car yet, so it depends what the MOT does in August. So, saving me pennies. Round to you, Ant. 2E0JO. Quick reports. Ant's plus 40, Andy's a 9, Dave's plus 60. Nothing from Tony and Andy. But yeah, it's good Andy could come in. 2E0JOV, M0RKK in the group.
M0RKK in the group. Yeah, just trying to think what to say now. Yeah, I'm getting M7SPE Andy, really good on the repeater, but absolutely nothing on the input, so I suppose everybody's getting them the same. So, yeah, I'm just trying to think now. Oh God, my mind's gone blank. It's alright leaving things in the kitchen until you walk in one night with the light off and you go flying over it. Then you decide to tidy it all up. When you nearly break your neck because everything's on the floor. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, is sort of just making spaces in the van so I can put it all in, so I don't have to pack it all a couple of nights before. So hopefully I'll get that done this week and it'll tidy it a lot up. So yeah. So anyway, that's about it from me. So I'll pass it on to Andy G8REM from 2E0JOV in the group.
Yeah, Yeah, Roger, 2E0JOV in the group, G8RM returning.
Oh, repeater's cut out. M0RKK, checking repeater.
And 35 minutes he was trying.
M0RKK.
Everything seems to be nice and neat and tidy, nothing to trip over. And there was something else. Oh yeah. Yeah, for the field day, it looks like I'll either be sleeping in the back of a Skoda, or I thought about getting a roof-mounted tent. Okay, it's not the same as mounting one on top of a Land Rover, but the Skoda's the next best thing, or the only thing I can get anyway. So I thought about that, but then I looked at the price and I thought, you know, you really got to be serious to fork out that kind of money. So it looks like a sleeping bag in the back of the Skoda for this HM. Right, okay, pass it over to Dave now, 2E0IDL from G8REM, the group.
Yeah, M0RKK, checking on the repeater. Are we back up? Okay, we're back up. Yeah, apologies, Andy. That's the trouble when it puts its call out. I find it quite a lot. If you happen to key up just as it's doing that, it kind of drops out for a bit. So, I mean, I heard most of what you said because I went on the input. But yeah, you just go again, Andy. I know it's quite involving, but yeah, just go again. M0RKK.
Roger, M0RKK in the group, G8REM returning. Yeah, well, not much. I just complained that my kitchen was tidy. Obviously I was a little bit quicker in tidying up all the detritus from the field day than you were. Although, having said that, it does seriously look like several bombs have hit the inside of the garage. I keep moving things around to tidy it up, but all I'm doing basically is just stirring the rubbish round and round in a circle. So, yeah. What I was going to say, yeah, it looks like I won't have the van for the field day, so I'll probably be in the Skoda. So I'll either have to sleep in that, get a tent, or get a roof-mounted tent. And I thought about that, but they look a little bit expensive, and I don't fancy making one. But it would be quite nice to be sleeping up above ground. But there you go. So I think that was it. Oh, and I said good evening to Andy, M7SPE. Nice you could get on all the way from Wakefield. It does happen occasionally. And nice to talk to you for the first time. So over to Dave, 2E0IDL from G8REM of the group.
G8REM 2E0IDL. Sorry, I nearly picked up the mouse then to talk into. Never mind. We all do it. Right, I don't think I've got anything else to add at this juncture, so with that I'll just pass it on to Tony, G0WJK from 2E0IDL.
G0WJK, are you with us, Tony? Over.
Roger.
Yeah, over to you, Tony. I'm not sure if you caught Dave then, but over to you, Tony.
Roger. Yeah, well, somebody in the group from G0WJK. Yeah, good evening, Andy. Don't think we've met before. Not a familiar call sign. Name's Tony. The QTH is the village of North Cave. And the reason why the other guys can't hear me, and we rely on the repeater, is there is a whacking great hill near us, about 150 foot high, and it prevents me from hearing anybody transmitting out of Hull on a regular basis. Occasionally hear somebody, but not regular. So that's that. Slavko's call sign is S573DX. I couldn't remember the call sign before. And I've just discovered, I I'm on a Facebook group for the high school that I used to go to in Hull, and I put a message out on there the other day saying anybody involved with amateur radio who used to go to the school. Well, John did go to the school, but he's not on the group. But Paul Rusling came back to me. You might remember Paul. He says looking around. No. His call sign is G4LBC, and he worked on Radio Caroline and on Laser 558 back in the day. And he actually came and visited HADARS a few years ago when we were at Humber Social Club. Last I heard, he was running a hotel and restaurant up near Brid, but he seems to have packed that in and he's living down in Keller at the moment. And there was another guy who lives in Pattrington, and this guy has never actually been to the Humber Fortress Club, which must be about 2 minutes down the road. So he's threatening to go and visit them. So I've done my bit for publicising the amateur radio. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I'll pass it on. Stop chuntering on. M7SPE from G0WJK and the group.
Negative. I've lost you for a while, guys. This is Mike 7 Sugar Papa Echo. Andy from Wakefield. Still standing by.
Andy, did you hear anything of me? It's G0WJK.
I don't think I did, buddy. I've stayed on frequency. I lost the repeater for a while, but it's come back. But I don't think I did, mate. Sorry about that.
Okay, I'm not going to repeat everything that I just said. Bore everybody to death. I'm good at that. Well, I'll pass it back to you, Andy, and you can pick up the baton and run with it. So, where are we? M7SPE from G0WJK and the group.
Roger. I caught a bit of it, mate, I must admit, but I was toing and froing in my loft shack. I just nipped out. Well, when I lost the repeater, I thought, well, I'll just stay on frequency. So I nipped down for a can of Brewdog, so I've got myself a beer here. But yeah, where I live is Horbury. It's on the west side of Wakefield, and it's on the bottom of Emily Moor. It's just adjacent to the famous Emily Moor TV transmitter mast. It's about 5 miles away from where I live, but if you stand in my back garden, it looks like it's actually in my garden. It's a lovely place for DXing. It's quite high. If anybody has ever been over this way, then tell me about any experiences they've had there. Back to you guys, M7SPE and the group.
Back. Standby breaker, come in please.
7EYP, Rich, good evening.
M7EYP, even to you, Steve. Hope you're doing well, mate. And I hope you haven't, your brain hasn't blown up with that computer that you've got there. You're on after Andy anyway, mate, so you might as well come in now. M7EYP, M0RKK.
Right, 7EYP returning you. You're now plus Rich as usual, and no problems there at all. I don't know who else is on there, so you'll have to give me some names, and I'll get round. I'm just shoving a lump of coal on the fire to get so the laptop will boot up.
Yeah, okay, no worries, mate. Well, yeah, apart from myself, the next one down is Ant 2E0JOV, Andy G8REM, Dave 2E0RDL, Tony G0WJK, Andy M7SPE from Wakefield actually, so he's hitting the repeater, and yourself. I'll just go back on the Zoom to make sure that my audio's still working. Yeah, it's all okay. So round to you, Steve, M7EYP, M0RKK.
A bit too quick there. I think I got Ann and then Andy, and that's about it after that. So yeah, come on, boat up. So with that, I'll you for a minute, Rich, and get us on the next time round, and I'll sit and jot down those on what order they're in.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Sort your computer out anyway. Yeah, catch you in a bit. So there was something I was going to mention. I would have wrote it. Oh, yeah, it's 573 DX. I just wonder if he's actually running that all the time and for how long. I just wonder if you might know that, Tony. Andy, just need to know if you're going to come on the Zoom. There's a question I need to ask about the foot switches and that you dropped off. Because there seems an awful lot there for saying all I wanted was a single foot switch. Because I've used my spare for the club, so I just wanted a spare foot switch, mate, and there's 2 there, so maybe you want some of that stuff back. Yeah, nothing else to add other than the next net will be Thursday evening. Not sure if Bernard's going to be running it or not. He wasn't very well last Thursday, but that's at 7 p.m. Simplex 145325. Round to you, Ant. 2E0JOV M0RKK.
From M0RKK. Yeah, not a lot to say, so I'll use this opportunity to give everyone my 73s and say thanks for running the net. I was just about to say John then. Rich. So yeah, I'll pass it on to Andy, see what he has to say. So 2E0JOV to G8REM in the group.
Yeah, Roger, 2E0JOV in the group, J8REM returning. Yeah, okay then, 73's Ant, and I'll see you back on the Zoom. I am coming on the Zoom, yeah, and I understand about those 2 switches. I think one of the switches has got a 4-pin plug on it, which fitted in the TS700, and then there's a socket to plug a microphone in. Don't require them back. It's too much like hard work trying to wire up a switch. Right, not much to add, so I'll say 73.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but round to you, Dave.
M0RKK20IDL. Yeah, sorry Andy, there was a lot of interference coming through while you were speaking. I was looking at the guys to see if there's anything happening now, or it's just... no, it's alright, okay. Steve, just a question to you. Did you manage to get hold of those leads? Or get them ordered anyway, because I read over the weekend that the makers of Signalink Typetronics are no longer in business. So Signalink's no longer available, nor are the leads and nor are the modules, so I hope you managed to get hold of them from wherever you were. Back to you, Steve.
7IP, 20IDL, good evening, Dave. Yep, on to Radio World on Saturday, ordered and paid for. Rang them today because I haven't had confirmation email, and it's already on the van out for dispatch. So yeah, that's all done. So that's good. Andy J.REM, you're 5-9 plus, Dave. You're 22, too loud, too close. Good evening, Tony. Give us a wave. Yeah, I'm going to knock that smile off your face, Tony. I'm going over to the dark side. So that's what the cable of the signal link's for. So yeah, I don't know. Enough said about that, I think. So yeah, with that, I don't know who's next on the list. So I'll bang it back to you, Rich.
Yeah, cheers to that, Steve. M7EYP M0RKK. Next one up will be Tony. Love to hear his comments on what you might have just said, Steve. G0WJK M0RKK in the group.
I don't know. You put I have done nothing on CW for about 7 months, so I am going back to it, hopefully in the very near future. Some practice. The SSB's just sort of swamped me recently, and just before Christmas last year, I was so depressed being able to make the jump to 15 words a minute from 12-13 that I packed it in, and I thought I would just have a week or two off, and it's turned into well over 7 months. So I'm going to get back to it, and hopefully can clock up a few more QSOs. I'm closing in on the CQWPX award, so if I can get if I can get going on CW, I might get a few more prefixes in there as well. So that's the plan. I'm not speaking to Steve anymore. He's for so matter in this house. If I do on screen, I would do. I wish I 23s, and I'm off back to 20 metres and see if there's anybody kicking around who's worth talking to, even if it is just Slavko and Janusz. So 73s, guys, and I shall pass it on to Andy again. M7SPE from G0WJK and the group.
Roger, thank you. M7SPE, back to WJK. Sorry, buddy, I didn't get your name. I've been furiously writing everybody down best I can. So if you'll just pop us your name before you go, that'll be great. Yeah, I just sat here and the repeater keeps blowing in and blowing out, so I'm losing people, and then I get everybody back fine. But when I'm receiving everybody is an audio 5, but about a signal 2 to 3 on me this side, mate. Back to you, G0WJK. This is M7SPE and the group. Back to you, sir. Over.
M7SPE and the group, except for Steve, from G0WJK. Andy, the name is Tony, Tony. QTH is near, is in North Cave, which is about 12 miles to the west of Hull. And as I said before, there's a whacking great hill between me and the rest of the guys, and that's why we use a repeater and can't just do normal simplex. So I hope you got that. We used to get 1 or 2 guys from Wakefield calling into nets in the dim and distant past, but I don't think there's been one recently, so welcome. Right, I shall pass it back to you, Andy, and I'm now off seeing if I can just find somebody else to talk to. Sorry, Steve, but, you know, this is the end of a beautiful relationship. M7SPE and the group from G0WJK 73s. Have a good night, everybody.
Roger, Tony, thank you for that. Yeah, I've been furiously writing everybody's names and call signs down. I think I've got all the right letters, but maybe in the wrong order, so you'll have to excuse me. But yeah, I'm same as you, mate. I'm in a bit of a valley, in a bit of a dip. I'm on the bottom of Emley Moor by the TV transmitter mast, so I totally sympathise with what you're saying. I struggle to get out in some directions, and other directions I don't do too bad. So, yeah, I sympathise with you there, Tony. So, G0WJK, this is M7SPE. Back to you, sir, and pass it on to whoever you think is next on the list. That'll save me doing a job. Over.
Roger there, Andy. It's the 10 code, Steve, is the next one on the list. But I'm not talking to him anymore. This is disgusting. It's been perverted by you lot. Turn to the dark side. I don't know. Right, okay, over to you, Steve. M7EYP, I've forgotten your call sign already. From G0WJK 73s. I don't mean it all. Not really.
So I don't know what's happening. I'm getting a lot of QRM on the frequency at the moment. Thanks for that, Tony. I'm only having a dabble.
having a dab. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. But, no, don't be checking that so much, it might fall off. But anyway, I've got the shack all done. So I'll just unplug this laptop, and I'll just see if I can show you a new picture of the shack. Hang on a minute. There we go, there's the new screen that I've got with the computer. As we go down, come around like that. There we go, it's nearly starting to look like a radio room. People will be talking about me, so yeah. Well, you're far back now at the station, I ain't talking to me anyway. And with lovely audio, even though you are in a dip, no problem there, Tony. All the rest of the guys, start now plus as usual. I think, yeah, the other M7 FPE, but you're also far by now, and I'm Central Hull, near enough, near most of the guys, so, yeah. I think that's me just about done, Rich, so with that, nice to see you again anyway, Tony, yeah. I'll hand it back to you, Rich.
M7EYP, M0RKK, cheers then Steve, and yeah, for anybody, any shortwave listeners or anybody listening on YouTube, Steve's shack looks very tidy, so you obviously couldn't see that, but we could on the Zoom. Yeah, just yeah, another thing, M7 SPE Andy, it's not very often I log 2 meters, but I've noticed you're on QRZ, mate, so I've logged your call on QRZ for tonight. This call is M0RKK, name is Rich, mate, so just to let you know that. It's not very often I do 2 meter band, but there you go. I normally just write it down on a scrapbook, the nets. So yeah, with that, I think we're probably thinking about wrapping it up now anyway, so I'll just put a call out in case anybody wants to call in late. M0RKK, London District Amateur Radio Club Group.
M0RKK, G6KRJ Martin, evening to you, Richard.
Yeah, G6KRJ, very good evening to you, Martin. I think you might be on the output again, Martin. I'm not too sure. Are you on your 290R over?
No, sir. I'm on the 857.
All right. Okay. Yeah. It sounds like you're on the output, so you haven't got your shift in, Martin, over. Okay, while Martin's sorting that out, anybody else M0RKK with the group?
I'll just give a quick report, Rich. I'm just switched on this MBT, and you on. Sorry, I've been on for weeks and weeks. So I've just been busy with stuff. But everyone's fully quiet, as you can say. Everyone's got the input. Tony is as normal, but because of the big hill. But everybody else, so I hope you're all alright.
G7LRR, M0RKK, how are you, mate? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it has been a while, hasn't it? So yeah, good to hear you, Andy. You have been mentioned actually, because I think you've got Bob's amp that yeah, you're having a dig at, and yeah, and he did tell me the story about a slight little bit of a mess it was inside, wasn't it? With somebody previously having a go, I think. So, yeah, you'll be on that, no doubt. And I think he's going to get a new one, recommended by yourself and a couple of other people, actually. So, he's had the okay from Carmen, Andy, over.
Yeah, M0RKKG7LR. It's repaired. I repaired it yesterday. Took it back for him tonight. It's there, but I've told him to. Yeah, he's gonna get the one repaired, but it won't hold out. It's a mess. It was a mess, but I've done my best what I could do. But once a board gets badly damaged like that,
new board job, but you're talking probably about 400 quid for the board. You have to order it from Italy. It's quite expensive repair.
Oh, I see, right, yeah, understood. So, yeah, I think it's going to be donated to you anyway, from what he said. So, yeah, nice little backup. Not that anything would go wrong with the challenges that you got, I think, aren't there, most of them? So, yeah, well, good to hear you anyway, Andy. I think we're just about wrapping up, but you're quite welcome to say hello to any of the guys. I don't know how long you've been on, mate, over.
Hello to everybody, there you are, and it's easy done. You're all 5-9 plus in the log. There we are. Done, Rich.
Yeah, pretty easy that was, wasn't it? Yeah. G6KRJ Martin, are you back with us, M0RKK? No, nothing heard. So M0RKK, I'll just leave it open for anybody that might want to call in, or anybody that wants to say anything to anybody else in the group. M0RKK. Silence is golden. There you go. Thanks for joining, lads. Very much appreciated. And anybody else listening, thanks for listening. Anybody on the YouTube also. I'll say 7 threes from Rich, M0RKK, and the rest of the group. Take care, all. Bye-bye.
Rogers, thank you very much. 7-3, M7SPE. All the best, thank you.
Yeah, have a good one, Andy. Take care, mate. It's great you could get in.
Roger, Rich, you have programmed it into radio, so I shall be having a listen in future. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, mate, anytime, and I'll keep him crossed. Have a good one.